Welcome to the Liminal. Open Codex. Hello everyone, this is your Codex. Stepping into the liminal space between. I was drawn to this deck. I feel like there is a message for someone out there. Ladies, my spirit guides, Mother Lilith, Mother Freya. What is it that needs to come through? Lucidity. Interesting. Being aware. The number 60. Reducing down to a 6. We have Pisces that is going direct, which could very much mean that you're having a moment of lucidity or transparency in regards to a partnership. The number 6 being the Lovers. Lucidity. And Crossroads, the number 12. I'm seeing someone who is taking a look at apartments. I'm seeing for rent, not for sale. For rent. Someone is not planning on staying somewhere for very long, is what they're giving me. This could be a temporary break. You could be on a temporary break from someone. Nature cycles. This is giving me the Wheel of Fortune, almost like you expect this person to come back round. This has happened before. For some of you, you needed this time apart from whoever this is to clear your head. Yeah. I'm seeing someone stretching out on bed, maybe enjoying the space, the ability to just spread out and relax. There's a sense of loneliness, though. It's almost as if either you or your person are acutely aware of the fact that you miss each other in separation. There may be a big choice that you have coming up, and it's requiring you to step aside for a moment, be on your own. Take some time is what I hear. Think things through. Okay. If you need more time and someone is pressuring you into a situation or pressuring you to make a decision that you don't feel comfortable making at this current point in time, or even in this relationship, then I feel like Spirit is really asking you to take that as I'm seeing a palm, like a stop. This may be something that you need to take a beat on or take a moment of pause to gain clarity about what decision you do want to make. Okay, thank you. Lucidity. This is the Ethereum Tarot. A very esoteric, but intuitive tarot. Again, all of these you can find in the description box down below. The Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, there's a need to know whether or not this is stable, whether or not this is something that you want to continue to try and master. The Hierophant, Taurus and Libran energy, Venusian energy. I honestly feel like this is someone that you're deciding whether or not this is something. Be careful if you're feeling like this person is pressuring you into a situation of deciding if you want to go to a higher level of commitment. I'm hearing that for someone. The Hierophant can be marriage, it can be long-term, it can be escalating a relationship to a different level. You're gaining clarity about whether or not you do want that type of relationship with this person. You may be even taking into account, when we talk about the Hierophant, we talk about morals, ethics, beliefs. We talk about traditions. We talk about the way that we were raised. Do our values align? Are we of the same mind? Are we wanting the same things out of life? Are we moving in the same direction, on the same path? I see crossroads here, and I feel like we'll get more information. The Two of Cups. This is certainly someone that you have a connection with. I'm strongly getting the sense, ooh, okay, they're giving me, are we just friends? This person may have been a best friend or someone that you always... I feel like you've known this person for a while. And perhaps over time, maybe you're coming to the conclusion that this is in fact something that's solid. Something that is or has potential. The Two of Cups. The Five of Wands. Okay. I understand for the need now to take some space and to think about this. 5 days is what I'm saying, 2 months for some of you. The Lovers, I said before, the number 60, reducing down to a 6. I feel like there is a strong connection that you feel to this person. But until now, you didn't consider this person to be, and I know this sounds horrible, but you didn't consider this person to be marriage material, is what I'm hearing. Marriage material. Relationship material. This person may have served as a comfort in times of need. This person may have served as a confidant when you needed someone to talk to or talk things through with. Okay, what is this crossroads, please, ladies, my spirit guides? The Emperor. You're being called to take control in this situation and make this choice. In fact, I feel like the choice was always up to you. Maybe it still is. This may be an indication that you've been thinking about this. Taking this from one type of relationship into a higher level of commitment. Okay, I'm seeing someone looking at rings online. The Queen of Wands. Okay, why the Queen of Wands? Give me more on the Queen of Wands. The Two of Pentacles. Okay. Is this someone that you can... Alright. I feel like this may have started out as something that was more physical in nature. Alright. Capricorn and Aries here in the Emperor. The Queen of Wands, the Two of Pentacles. I feel like this is the crossroads. You're going back and forth and you're saying, when, if I choose to drop one of these pentacles, then it becomes the Ace of Pentacles, which is a seed that is planted that ultimately has the potential to grow into the Ten of Pentacles, long-term stability. Is this the right person for me? You've considered it. I feel like this person meets your criteria. Okay, that's a bit of a vetting process that someone has. Meets your criteria. Okay, ladies, is that all? All right. Okay. Yeah, meet your criteria. Temperance. There's patience here that needs to be exercised. The Eight of Swords. Yeah, I feel like at this point in time, you're needing to, the King of Swords, yeah, you're needing to make sense of all of this. This is something that you're asking yourself, do I have enough information here in the world to go ahead and call this complete, to go ahead and say, yes, this is something that I do want to consider successful. I have found this one. I have found my one, my person. King of Swords, you could be a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Does not have to be. I also have Temperance here, Sagittarian energy, the fixed signs Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and Scorpio here in the world at the bottom of the deck. Capricorn and Aries here in the Emperor, the Hierophant, Taurus, and Libran energy. I really do feel like you're being called to make a decision about whether or not this is something that you're going to pursue for an extended period of time, say as in plant that seed and nurture it. Again, here's the taking time apart and having patience with this to sort through. The Eight of Swords is about being chained to a mental prison, not being able to escape. Listen to your intuition. The King of Swords is someone who has the answers. I feel like you're really heavily leaning on your intellect at the moment. It's interesting because Temperance is about blending water with fire and finding that harmonious balance. And I feel like you're being asked, the only cups that we have here are the Two of Cups. Now, I am going to grab some advice, so don't go away. By the way, make sure that you have subscribed to the channel if you've not yet already. Make sure to hit the like button and hype if you have one available. I would greatly appreciate it. The number 6 is really sticking out to me. Temperance. There's something about Sagittarius season which we're just now exiting. So this may have been fairly recent that you had this clarity. This may be someone that, again, you may have viewed them in a completely different light, saying, yeah, we're just friends. In fact, I'm hearing that. We're just friends. We're just friends. You continue to tell people we're just friends. And maybe it was obvious that you two were not just friends. There was more. A tension between the two of you that you couldn't quite deny. I'm feeling a lot of fire energy here. You may have tried to fight your feelings for this person, the connection between the two of you, only to figure out that no matter how many times you two decided to just stay friends, it always ended up back in the bedroom. Is what I'm hearing. Back in the bedroom. Again, Taurus and Libran energy here in the Hierophant, Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus here in the Ace of Pentacles, Capricorn and Aries here in the Emperor, and then we have Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius here in the King of Swords. Temperance is Sagittarian energy. Again, guys, if you enjoy the decks that I am using, make sure to check out the link in the description box below. These are all available through Etsy. Okay, so what is the advice? What is the advice? And I'm being called to this deck here. What is the advice? What is the advice? What is it that we need to know for our best and highest good, please? What is it that my viewer needs to know for their best and highest good, if you would, please, mothers? For their best and highest good, please. And I was not planning on using this, so I'll have to grab the book for the oracle. Okay. We have the sacrifice and we have the sun. Someone sacrificing their happiness here, making a decision to settle down because this is the one. That's interesting. That's what I'm getting first off. But I don't necessarily feel like that is the whole message. Okay. The number 53 and the number 44. Okay, 8 is the strength card. 53 is 7, which is the chariot. 7 and 8. Okay. The sacrifice, to make sacred. The sacrifice is an offering of gratitude made from the heart, a feast of love prepared for spirit. In olden days, sacrifices sometimes involved rituals in which blood was offered to the gods. For example, in the Bible, Yahweh preferred Abel's sacrifice to one of his lambs to Cain's offerings of vegetables and fruit. In Middle America, Quetzalcoatl, the Lord of the Dawn, came to teach that spirit offered songs and prayers to the blood of humans or animals. The invitation, the sacrifice, asks you to offer spirit that which is most precious to you. Your offering will be sanctified and returned tenfold. If this is your freedom, if you're going and saying, I know this person is the person that aligns with me in a complete sense, you may fear losing your autonomy, your freedom. The Spirit is saying, if you give of your heart, if you give of this love, it will be returned tenfold. You just never know. You will be elevated to the altar at which you have been praying and meet the divine at the table with the heavenly feast. You are a welcome guest to this banquet. Your heart is the only worthy offering you can bring. Life has been generous with you in so many ways, and there's another aspect to this. Be grateful for the love that you do have, and more will be returned to you always. And that includes self-love. Yes, you may be at a crossroads deciding whether or not to make a commitment to someone. But I feel like you know that this is something that I'm hearing would haunt you. This may be why you're taking so much time with this. Okay. What is the one person or thing that you find that you can't live without? There you go. It's time for you to offer it all to Spirit so that it may unfold as it will. So offer your love to this person. Offer your love to Spirit, to Source. When you make sacred, you open the door to infinite wealth. Do not delay. Make your love sacred for this person only. You may have been in a position where you're saying, I'm never going to get married. I'm never going to be in a higher level of commitment. For rent. I was saying that before. You always rent. You never buy. Everything is temporary. In fact, you may be telling yourself that right now. Everything is temporary. Including relationships. How sad. When there are so many that do endure. The number 53. Again, this is strength. The number 44, which reduces down to an 8. Strength. Leo energy. Strength of will. It would take strength for you to make this sacrifice. We have the sun. The sun is acknowledged by many cultures as the foremost masculine force. Interesting fact, it is not in German. It is it is Mother Sun and Father Moon. I found that very interesting. Der Sonne. And my husband's probably going to get mad at me. Yeah. In most, it is a masculine force. In other traditions, it's seen as a feminine in her full power. There we are. As a feminine in her full power. Either way, it is the most brilliant light for all beings and allows life to sprout from the dark feminine earth. It could be made gentle and warming close to sunrise or sunset, fall or winter. It can be destructive at its zenith during scorching summer, especially if you live here in Texas. The invitation, have you been hibernating? Have you been introspective? It's time to come out of your cave and savor the life-giving light of our star. The sun rekindles your passion and your creative energy. Life is calling you to shine your light and add your brightness and humor to any serious matters around you. Get out and play. Think of the sun card, the little boy who is awash with sunlight, riding on the back of a pony in a field of sunflowers. Rebirth, renewal, absolute joy and happiness. Does this person bring that into your life? And what sacrifices are you willing to make in order to keep this in your life? Are you willing to stop being for rent and start being for sale? Are you able to go ahead and plant that Ace of Pentacles we saw earlier? Have you been shining your light for too long? Remember that daylight is only one half of the day. The night must have equal time. That's interesting because we're coming up on the solstice. Blessed solstice, by the way. And blessed Yule. She offers her gifts as well. Be careful not to be blinded by your light or the light of others. Do not be enamored with yourself or worship others. Beware your shadow. Revel in the midday glory, but do not be afraid of this warning of the light at dusk. And there's a flip side to this, because maybe this is illuminating. If we think about the sun card and we think about the moon card, maybe there is something here that you will have to give up. Maybe you are being illuminated to that fact. If you want to set down roots, if you want to plant that pentacle, if you want to continue whatever this is and take it to a higher level of commitment, it may require you to take a look at the unknowns, the moon, deep emotions, things that you've not wanted to examine and say, is this something that I'm willing to venture into? Even if I don't know for certain the outcome, is it still worth it? So, let's see. Ladies, my spirit guides, mothers, what is the advice? What is the advice for my viewer? What is the advice? What is the unfettered advice? What is the unfettered advice? The Seven of Pentacles. The Tower. Okay. I see you taking a pause, the Five of Swords, because of fear. Let me ask you this. The Seven of Pentacles, the work that you have put into this relationship, call it a friendship. What if you wait too long? You examine whether or not this has the potential for growth, whether or not the hard work is worth the effort that you're putting forth in planting these seeds, or in the effort that you have already spent planting these seeds. Are you willing to allow this to be sabotaged? The Five of Swords can be self-sabotage. It's conflict in the mind. Swords are thoughts or words. How are you creating your own tower here in this? Maybe this will come to a head. Maybe You'll procrastinate to the point where this person chooses someone else. And ask yourself now, if this is the case, if you're considering this, how would you feel? How would that make you feel if you were to ask this person and find out, I've already moved on. I did have a connection with you. I did love you. But I couldn't wait forever. For some of you, this could have been 7 years. What is the King of Swords? You overthought this. You did. I feel like you're still doing it. We had the Eight of Swords and the King of Swords. Again, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. You can have a lot of air in your chart. This could be your Sun. This could be your Venus, especially. You could be saying, I feel like you're overthinking this. I mean, the Five of Swords and the King of Swords. Yeah, the Three of Wands. You did wait to move forward on this. I feel like you may miss out if you don't go ahead and make this offer. I'm not trying to pressure you. I'm simply asking you to think about what would happen and look at what's underneath the bottom of the deck. The Sun, the Page of Wands, adventure, and the King of Cups. Leo energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. We have the Queen of Cups here as well, a true pair. You may know that this person is a true pair. Again, I'm saying the Two of Cups, King of Cups, Queen of Cups. The King of Swords, you're overanalyzing this. If you wait for too much longer, I do feel like here with the Chariot, Cancerian energy, this person will end up moving on. Or this opportunity will pass you by. If you're completely fine with that, then by all means, take your time. We have multiple soulmates. There is no such thing as the right person at the wrong time. If you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that this person is someone unlike anyone else that you have met, this is apparent from the get-go. How long should you have to wait before you know that this is your person? I feel like this feeling or this realization, this realization that this is the person that you have a deep connection with, that you've been fighting, I feel like you're beginning to realize this really could be something that you may regret not taking a chance on. I'm not saying if you've met this person in the past month, 2 months, you go out and buy a wedding ring. You buy a house together. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, if you've known this person in another context, say as a friend, and you've only just become aware of these much deeper feelings, don't hesitate to let this person know. You never know if you never try. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Wow. The Codex is very loud tonight. The Liminal is very, very loud. By the way, I film these at midnight or just past. Your heart is in this, and it does make you happy. Ultimately, you make your own decisions. But realize, this is the last thing that I will say, realize that all decisions have consequences, good and bad and neutral, cause and effect.